Her words came out like a dare, sharp, careless, and scorching. "Go home if you're jealous," Emily said, brushing past me toward the bar. Her tone carried that familiar mix of irritation and challenge, the one she used whenever she knew she'd hit a nerve. And that night she had. The restaurant's warm light painted her face in gold as she joined her coworkers, laughing too freely, too loudly. I stood there, jaw tight, watching as she leaned in close to whisper something to Nathan, her manager. His hand rested on her lower back, easy, confident, practiced. That was the moment I decided to leave. Without a word, I turned and walked out into the humid night, the noise of the restaurant fading behind me. The drive home felt endless. The silence in the car pressed in around me, thick and suffocating, amplifying every thought I didn't want to have. Emily and I had been married 7 years. We'd weathered fights, money problems, family drama, everything life could throw our way. But lately something had shifted. She'd started coming home later, brushing off questions with the same tired excuse. "Work's been crazy," she'd sigh, kicking off her heels. "You wouldn't understand." And I wanted to believe her. I really did. But that night, her birthday dinner with her office friends, something told me to pay attention. I'd shown up with flowers, hoping to surprise her. Instead, I found her already surrounded, laughing, glowing, a glass of wine in hand. She looked free, like she didn't belong to me anymore. When I walked up, her smile faltered, just for a second, but enough to sting. "Hey," I said, handing her the bouquet. "Oh, Ryan," she murmured awkwardly, taking them. "You didn't have to come. Didn't have to come." The words echoed in my head like a dull hammer. Nathan gave me a polite nod, his eyes steady, measuring, like he was calculating how much I knew. And in that moment, I saw it, a fleeting look between them. The kind that lasts half a second, too quick for anyone else to notice, but impossible for a husband to miss. So when she hissed, "Go home if you're jealous," I did exactly that. The house felt colder than ever that night. I poured myself a drink, sat on the couch, and stared at the framed photo from our wedding day. Her smile in that picture, bright, genuine, felt like it belonged to someone I used to know. I tried not to imagine where she was, or who she was with, but my mind betrayed me. Just after midnight, her text came through. "Don't wait up." Crashed at Mia's. "Too drunk to drive." Mia. The ever-convenient best friend who always covered for her. I started typing a reply, deleted it. Tried again. Deleted that too. Finally, I just turned off my phone. Morning sunlight poured into the living room when I heard her key in the lock. Emily stepped in, sunglasses perched on her head, hair tied messily, smelling faintly of perfume and someone else's cologne. "You're up early," she said, forcing a smile. "I never went to sleep," I answered quietly. She froze mid-step. "Ryan, don't start, okay? I told you. I stayed at Mia's." I looked at her. Really looked. The wrinkled dress, the faint smudge of lipstick at the corner of her mouth, the tired defensiveness in her eyes. "Mia doesn't wear Hugo Boss," I said softly. She blinked. "What?" "The cologne. The one you're wearing. Nathan wears it." Her expression shifted, shock, then guilt, then anger. "So now you're sniffing me like some paranoid cop?" I laughed bitterly. "I don't have to. You reek of lies." "Ryan, stop it. You're being ridiculous." "Am I?" I said, voice low. "Because last night you told me to go home if I was jealous. So I did. And now I can't stop wondering what you did after I left." She looked away, swallowing hard. "I drank too much," she muttered. "We were just talking." "With him," I added. "Yes," she admitted quietly. "He offered to drive me home." "Or to his place?" Her silence said everything I didn't want to hear. The air between us cracked, silent, sharp, and final. I felt something inside me unravel, slow, painful. 7 years of love, trust, laughter, all crumbling under the weight of one lie. We didn't speak for days. She slept in the guest room. I buried myself in work. The house felt like a graveyard of memories, photos, echoes of laughter, the faint scent of her perfume still on the sheets. Then, one evening, she came into the living room and stood quietly. "I made a mistake," she said, voice trembling. "It didn't mean anything." I looked at her, exhausted. "You crossed a line, Emily. You can't take that back." Tears filled her eyes. "I was drunk, and you've been so distant. I felt unwanted." He was just there. I wanted to scream, to tell her that feeling unwanted doesn't excuse betrayal. But all that came out was a broken whisper. "You were my home, Emily, and last night you burned it down." She collapsed then, sobbing uncontrollably, falling to her knees. I wanted to reach out, but I couldn't. My body felt frozen. My heart already half gone. The next morning, she packed a small bag. "I'll stay with my sister for a while," she said quietly. "You need space." "I get that." I didn't stop her. Couldn't. When the door shut behind her, the silence that followed was unbearable. Weeks passed. I went through the motions, work, gym, sleep, but inside, I was unraveling. Every time I saw her toothbrush still by the sink, or the empty space where her shoes used to be, something else broke inside me. Then one afternoon, she showed up at my office. "I ended things with him," she said. "Completely. I just want to talk." I stared at her, unsure whether to feel relief or anger. "Why?" I asked. "Because you regret it? Or because he didn't choose you?" Her eyes filled with tears. "Because I still love you." I sighed, leaning back. "You loved me enough to tell me to go home. Loved me enough to lie. Loved me enough to let another man touch you." She flinched. "I know I hurt you, but I'll do anything to make it right." "Some things," I said quietly, "can't be made right." Months later, the divorce papers were signed. No yelling, no fight, just silence, the quiet ending of something that once felt unbreakable. Sometimes late at night, I'd still think about her, about that dinner, that careless sentence. "Go home if you're jealous." She probably thought it was just another argument. But for me, it was the beginning of the end. Because I did go home. And in doing so, I learned that sometimes walking away isn't weakness, it's survival. It's how you stop destroying yourself over someone who stopped caring the moment they thought you never would. Months later, she called out of the blue. "I saw you today," she said softly. "You looked happy." I smiled faintly. "Maybe I am." Then, in a trembling voice, she said, "I never thought you'd actually go that night." I took a deep breath. Neither did I. And I hung up. Outside, the world kept moving, quiet, ordinary, forgiving. And for the first time in years, so did I.